What if the real problem in your life is not what you're missing, but what you have been ignoring? You worked hard, you stayed disciplined, you sacrificed comfort. You controlled emotions when breaking felt easier. You chose logic over feelings, stability over risk. And now you have the job, the house, the respect, maybe even the relationship. From the outside, everything looks complete. So why, when the lights turn off at night, does your chest feel heavy? Why does silence feel louder than noise? Why does it feel like something is missing, even though nothing seems missing? This is the emptiness no one talks about. It is not dramatic. It is not visible. It doesn't show up in photos or captions, but it sits quietly inside you. Psychology explains something important. The human brain adapts to achievements faster than we expect. It's called hedonic adaptation. You dream about a better salary. You finally get it. For a few weeks you feel proud. Then it becomes normal. You buy something you wanted for years. You feel excited. Then it becomes ordinary. The brain resets and asks, what's next? So you chase again. More success, more recognition, more progress. But the more you chase, the further peace seems to move, because the brain was designed to survive, not to feel satisfied forever. In survival mode, you stay alert, competitive, productive, but in that constant state of performance, you slowly disconnect from your inner self. You stop asking, am I fulfilled? And start asking, how am I perceived? There is a difference between fulfillment and validation. Validation feels good but temporary. Fulfillment feels calm but quiet, and the world is loud. Social media is loud. Comparison is loud. Comparison is loud. Ambition is loud. But fulfillment whispers, and maybe you stopped listening to whispers. You build a life that looks impressive, but does it feel meaningful? Sometimes emptiness appears not because you failed, but because you succeeded at the wrong things. You followed expectations. You followed what made sense. You followed what seemed responsible. But did you follow your emotional truth? Maybe you chose a career that paid well, but never made you feel alive. Maybe you stayed in a relationship that looked stable, but felt emotionally distant. Maybe you became the strong one in your family, so strong that no one thought you needed support. Slowly, you became the person everyone depends on, but no one checks on. When was the last time someone asked how you were really doing? Not casually, not politely, genuinely. Emptiness grows in emotionally unsupported spaces. You can be surrounded by people and still feel unseen. You can be praised and still feel unknown. Because humans don't just need admiration. Because humans don't just need admiration. They need connection, real connection. A place where you can say, I'm tired without losing respect. A place where you can admit confusion without being judged. Maybe early in life you learned that vulnerability is dangerous. When you showed emotion, you were told to be stronger. When you expressed fear, you were told to grow up. So you adapted. You became emotionally controlled, independent, reliable. But control without expression builds internal pressure. Over time, that pressure turns into numbness, and numbness feels like emptiness. You're not breaking down. You're not crying. You're just not feeling much. That scares you. You wonder why good things don't excite you the way they used to. Because happiness requires openness, and openness requires safety. Another truth. You may feel empty because you've been living in performance mode for too long. You smile when expected. You stay positive when required. You stay productive at all costs. You become efficient but not authentic. The gap between who you are and who you present creates internal distance. That distance feels like emptiness. You wake up, go through routines, accomplish tasks, but you don't feel deeply connected to your own life. It's like watching yourself live instead of truly living. Many high-achieving people feel this. Many responsible adults feel this because strength often requires suppression. You suppress anger, disappointment, sadness. Emotions ignored repeatedly don't disappear, they go numb. And numbness feels like something missing. You are not empty, you are emotionally exhausted. You have been strong for too long without emotional rest. There's also distraction. You stay busy, you scroll endlessly. You fill every silent moment with noise because silence feels uncomfortable. But in silence, difficult questions surface. Am I truly happy? Is this the life I chose or the one I accepted? External growth may have moved faster than internal growth. You upgraded your lifestyle, but did you upgrade your self-awareness? You improved your income, but did you improve your emotional health? You learned how to manage projects, but did you learn how to process loneliness? We live in a world that rewards productivity, but rarely teaches emotional processing. So when sadness appears, you distract yourself because distraction is easier than reflection. But emptiness is not a curse. It's a signal that your soul is asking for depth. Depth in conversations, depth in relationships, depth in purpose, not applause, not status. Meaning comes from alignment between your values and your daily choices. If you value family but never slow down for them, misalignment. If you value creativity but suppress it for practicality, misalignment. If you value peace but constantly chase chaos, misalignment. Misalignment creates emotional discomfort that feels like something is off, even when everything looks fine. So what do? You don't quit your life. You reconnect with it. Start small. Ask yourself what makes you feel alive, not impressive. What conversations make you lose track of time? Who makes you feel safe? When was the last time you felt genuine joy without posting it? These questions matter because emptiness often means you've been living for external approval instead of internal alignment. You are not ungrateful for feeling this way. Gratitude and emptiness can coexist. You can appreciate what you have and still crave something deeper. That deeper craving is not greed. It is your emotional system asking for authenticity. You don't need more things. You need more presence, more honesty, more depth. True success is not measured by applause. It is measured by the peace you feel when you are alone. If you can sit in silence and feel calm, that is success. If you can express your emotions without shame, that is growth. If you can choose meaning over validation, that is freedom. Maybe you are not empty. Maybe you are just disconnected from yourself, and reconnection begins with awareness. Slow down. Feel what you've been avoiding. Speak what you've been avoiding. Choose what aligns with who you truly are, because having everything means nothing if you don't have yourself. And when you begin to return to yourself gently and honestly, you'll realize something powerful. The emptiness was never proof that you lacked something. It was proof that you were ready for something deeper, something real, something aligned. And that journey is not about gaining more. It is about becoming whole.